This is 35 Dragonfly in Holden. Executive ranch with an impressive, it's got a guest suite upstairs, and then it's also got a apartment for in-law use, family use, or it could be just income. Has a nice attached garage, plus just beyond the two vehicles there, it's got a pole barn. There's also got a whole house generator. The other kind of sweet thing about this is that it's at the end of a private drive. Just has a couple houses on it. And it's kind of in the hills, which we don't have a lot of in Maine. We have a lot of beautiful parks and stuff, but usually you have to travel to them. This was a custom build. They did a lot of things there kind of special. It is the Trek type composite decking on the front, and they did the rails kind of just nice. It does have private well and septic too. The well is over there and the septic is on the side. This is the front entry. It's got custom wood floors from one of the Carolinas that they installed when they had it built. They just had them refinished because they had lived here. Nice open concept, which you don't see a lot here. We're kind of known for New England colonials, but the open concept is awesome. They did a ton of custom features here. This has got the cathedral in this living room area. They did have a heat pump added, which is nice. Fireplace with a place for a TV above and the built-ins beside. I think we will do sort of kitchen swing and back through, and then we'll go over to the apartment too and outside. So this is definitely modern floor plan. I mean, custom kitchen, everything from the real stone countertops. It does have the stools. It's got the gourmet kitchen, which is something you almost never see here. I toured some folks through Orono Bangor area yesterday, looking at houses that were $700,000, $800,000, $900,000, and didn't see a single kitchen like this. Kind of sad in a way, but it's where we've gone to property values. So I have a nice dining area here, plenty of room for a full-size table, double fridge. You've also got these cabinets, which are the craft made, but they are slow close. That's something else. It's just, you take it for granted, but for a house this, you should have soft close everything. So very nice that way. Dishwasher over here. And then you've got this custom double oven wolf. It is just amazing. It's got a griddle under here. It's got real tile behind. Little details that matter, and you just don't see a lot. You do have, I'm gonna go back this way. Give you another shot of the living room. And then over here, you've got a nice big pantry. Tons of room for cooking equipment and food, etc. And then on this side, you've got the master suite. On that side, you've got the other bedrooms as well as the other second guest suite upstairs. So again, they did a cathedral ceiling in here, which is really nice. Plenty of room for a California king without an issue. Wall mount TV. Does have two walk-in closets. It's got his and hers, or however it might work out. Small one here. And then you've got the master bath, which is all custom as well. They've got nice double vanity with, again, stone top. They have a linen area. And then on this side, you've got a custom shower, which has two shower heads, which, again, should be normal for something like this house, but is not as normal. All tile, easy. It's plenty spacious. Heated towel rack, which is really nice. It has a switch for how long you want to leave it on. And then you've got the other much bigger walk-in closet, which even goes on this side with all the built-ins right in. Super nice. And, I mean, no lights on anything. There's just the sun that this side of the house gets is just amazing. And they put those 3 windows in to take advantage of that view of the hills. Very nice. In here, this wraps around. You have another door into the sort of main corridor, the mudroom. There's plenty of room. You can see they had stuff here, and it attaches to the garage. So you've got room for parking 2 vehicles, no problem, as well as that side will fit a full-size truck without any issue. It's got the extra tall garage doors, and you can see they've got an extra like bonus fridge there. So this nice thing here is you've got room for 2 cars plus some room here. And then you've got the pole barn, which has room for any kind of equipment you might want to have. They've got the laundry room here, so it's separate and right on the main level, which is really nice. Has its own closet. There's a coat closet as you come in here too. They lived the house down the street, and they really knew what they were doing when they did this. They built it just how they wanted. So you've got a half bath here for guests or whatever you use. This was super cool. That's a calendar, and you could write stuff on it. Really just kind of a neat setup. But then you have this, which could be a bonus office. Has these wonderful like barn doors, or it could be a sitting room or anything somebody wanted. They at one point used it for a home office. It has a connection for internet. And then as you walk over here, you've got another bedroom. This has dual closets. One here and one over there. And they had this made for their daughter, but had a good sized bed tucked in there. And then a full bath. Tons of bathrooms. Something else you often don't see. In expensive houses here, often 2 bathrooms is enough, which I find bizarre. You've got bedroom master, bedroom 2, bedroom 3, closet, and then they have a Jack and Jill bathroom here. So you have full bath access by bedrooms on either side with their own entrances. Again, nice vanity, oversized tub shower. And that walks into bedroom 3 or bedroom 4, depending on how you look at it. Big, good sized closet. And then you come around to the stairs. So you've got master bedroom over there, bedroom 2, bedroom 3, bedroom 4, or depending on how you work. So 4 bedrooms on this level, or use one for office or a couple offices. And then here you walk up. This space was finished after the fact. They had an adult son, and they wanted to have space for him to have his own kind of privacy. So they added this good sized room. You can see he had a couch, some built-ins, a closet, plus they've got a good sized bath. Has a shower. They took advantage of lots of little places to put light, etc. And then they also did some neat features. Again, nice vanity. This has got the heated mirror, light built in, and night light built in too, which is actually really cool. So, very nice. And then, of course, we've got the deck off this side, which was not originally here. This was added on by them. And I think is one of the nicest features, although it is the one thing that we have a allowance for with the purchase of the house. There's a $5,000 allowance for this. And this is because they had all this professionally done. Beautiful wood ceiling up there with lights. But they had them quote it for pressure treated lumber. And at the very last minute, they asked them to put the composite on it. And the only issue is you can't really see it here very well, but I guess you can see it over there, I think a little bit. It's slightly wavy, and that's because with composite, you're supposed to have the framing a little closer together. So it does need some supports added to it in order to keep this decking in good shape, because it'll wear out if it's not supported correctly. It's perfectly safe. But so there is an allowance to have that done, and then either to finish this off by finishing the railing, or they had intended to have a set of stairs here, and they just didn't have it done. They never got to it. So if somebody wanted stairs down which that seems to fall into two categories. Some people want stairs, some people don't, but that would be up to somebody. And there is a $5,000 allowance for that. So, and this is just amazing. You got the hills all around, and this is something that when they built this, they had all these trees topped off. That was just over 10 years ago, though. So it really probably, I think somebody would do that again just to keep the view. And that is something like about every 10 years probably somebody would do. So it does have a door there where they had their dog door. And they pretty much left that open. But it is a great feature. And then we'll go downstairs. And lots of closets, place. Every house like this should have, but tons of little nooks and stuff. Coat closet as you come in. Basement itself is one of those things that you just go, wow. So, actually, I don't know. There we go. Lights on now. So, you have the oversized 2-car garage that's attached. They did a garage bay down here, and the ceiling down here is massive. But technically, could be more space down here, I guess. But as he was really into working on stuff, and he had boats and snowmobiles and ATVs. And so he literally did this. He had his boat down here. The driveway wraps around. Actually, I'll go over here and show you. So the septic system is actually over there. And you can see here, it drives right around, and he put his boat in here. This was completely chock full when I looked at this first time. So really great workshop. Everything exposed. You can actually see here, the house has got radiant heat, and that's why you don't see baseboard upstairs along the room. And that's really nice because that baseboard always gets really banged up, and you can't put furniture against the wall, or can't put it at all. So having radiant heat is just amazing. The other thing is it's got radiant heat in this slab, and it has its own thermostat. Now they did burn some wood, and so they have a wood fireplace that is great for backup. See some wood there. They did it because they liked it. I'm not sure if somebody else would do much with it, but it is there if somebody wanted to. And because of the ceiling height, you can almost do anything you want down here. Again, it's a great place to put toys, etc. Especially if you like working on it. If somebody had antique cars, or, I mean, you could just do so much with this. They've got the built-in shelving over here just for storage. And then this is all the mechanical stuff. So you can actually see the thermostat for the downstairs for this whole radiant floor is there. And that's what all that tubing is there. And then, of course, all the zones, a lot of zones for the house to zone heating. If you're not using space, you could keep it down lower, etc. That's really nice. And then all the plumbing and more radiant there. They did have a hot tub. It's not currently in use. He said it needed some little part or something. That's why they drained it, and they just never did it. So somebody probably would use that. But it does have the well pump here, has a whole house filter. That's really all it has for water. Electrical service is over there. And it is an oversized electrical service. Which does make sense with the house being as big as it is. And then it does have a high efficiency gas furnace, NTI, as well as a Boilermate. Boilermate kind of makes sense because if you were taking 2 showers at once or something, having an extra hot water makes a lot of sense. So this completes the basement. You can see here they had exercise equipment down here too. They use this all the time. So somebody doesn't have to, but it is a pretty amazing space. The radiant is something that a lot of people talk about, but when they go to build a house, it is a lot more expensive to do radiant. It increases the cost for mechanicals pretty dramatically. So most people don't end up doing it. But it is so nice not to have baseboard against the walls. It really opens up the space and allows you to put furniture wherever you want. Plus, looks a lot better, frankly. So I'm going to grab my shoes. I guess I'm running a little long on this video, but try to speed speed it up a little bit. So really nice feature having direct entry to the house from the garage. Kind of hope that. Again, really tall ceilings here. It's super nice that way. And you've got a door here that goes into the extra space that they finished off just recently, last few years. The neat thing is this is access to the apartment. So you don't have to go through the house. You don't have to go through the garage. It has its own entry here, which goes right outside. And you can see they had a lot of flowers and stuff. And you can see the pole barn pretty well there too. I will do a quick walk over there when we're done. But so as we go here, you come upstairs, you've got the actual apartment, which the owner has continued to use. They've moved out of the area, but they're coming back. They're actually back now. And they've been using it for a week or two here and there. It's fully equipped, all open concept. Just amazing space because they took advantage of cathedraling the ceilings here too. Really kind of nice, super nice quality on the cabinets, on the appliances. Everything is just nicely done. They were thinking they were just going to use this for family, maybe use it for Airbnb in the future. Never really got to do that, but they did equip it that way. And so it even has its own washer and dryer over on this side. Super nice. And lots of closet space. It's got great lighting under the... They really did think about a lot of details. And then you've got like a big pantry here, which it's a one-bedroom apartment. And you've got a double like closet over here. Did a great job. This does go into like an attic area. Can't really see much, but you can see some of the framing, and they actually have some storage in there. So, and then the electrical panel for the apartment is here. And then you've got the bedroom, which is again massive. If somebody wanted to produce a little extra income, this would be an amazing Airbnb because you're jumping off a spot to all of Acadia. Furnished nurses are a big market in our area as well, and they tend to be great tenants because they're not here a lot, etc. We have several places that do that. So similarly, LED lighting, good sized closet. They did, it's kind of deep. They did put the line in for a heat pump for this area. They didn't actually put it in. So somebody might very well put a heat pump. Now it does have the heat. In fact, up here they did the baseboard. Notice that's what the whole house doesn't have that at all. Which is, I mean, that's the house not having that, having radiant heat is just amazing. But when they added space, they did put that in here. Doesn't take up a lot of the room because it's super well insulated. So makes it nice. But it does have heat, no issue. Again, kind of creative, unique, not your standard. On the vanity with the top, same mirror that's got the light and the heat. And then is a custom shower, which is really nice. And same has a little like nook to make the space feel a lot bigger, which is really nice. So as apartments go, this is kind of super nice. In fact, it's furnished is also a really nice feature. Gives some creativity options. So this completes the apartment. And we'll go take a quick look at the pole barn and we'll be done. So the property does run on propane. It's got a big tank for the house, which is nice. And then it's got a nice big side yard here. They had some raised beds here, which is kind of cool aesthetically, and they had a fire pit over here. And the pole barn they added because they were into chickens. And so they had it full mostly of chicken stuff, and then they had a side that they used for a tractor that they had. Does have a whole house Generac over here, which runs on its own propane, has its own propane tank. So if the power ever went out, everything stays on, which is nice. This pole barn is kind of overkill for most people. But again, if somebody had ATVs or snowmobiles, all that kind of stuff, does have power run out to it. Great spot for tractor, etc. Or whatever somebody might be into, to be frank. This is definitely kind of set up to have animals, but this stuff could all get removed. It could be for horses or chickens. They had a hayloft up there. Technically, I guess could be finished into living space down there if somebody really wanted to. It's kind of massive, but as it sits, it's extra storage, has these nice rolling barn doors, and would cost a lot to build, which having extra storage is kind of the name of the game in our area because everybody seems to get toys, etc. So give you the side view. And the land, it is almost 5 acres. Kind of goes down this way. Just kind of an oasis in the middle of the country. Yet you are literally 10 minutes into Bangor and probably 15 minutes, 20 minutes to Ellsworth. So it is a really nice spot to be kind of central to everything without being too far out, even though you feel like it. So that finishes 35 Dragonfly. If you'd be interested, let's set up something so you can come up and view it. And if you've got questions, just let me know. Happy to answer whatever you might have.